Welcome to the KOMO Sports End Zone podcast with KOMO Sports Director Niko Tamurian and Najee Moye.
Well, hey there. Welcome to the KOMO Sports End Zone. I'm Niko Tamurian. That is Najee Moye, and we welcome you to this show. You know, listen, it's football season, so each and every week, Najee and I are giving you the deepest dive into all Seahawks all the time. We're asking the tough questions, and certainly when you talk about Najee and I, our experience covering this team, you know, I'm at the facility all the time every day. Najee's the guy in my ear telling me what to say and what to do about this, and so together we make a pretty good team, don't we, Najee?
Maybe not telling you exactly what to say and what to do, but, you know, I mean – it's a team. Teamwork makes the dream work, is what I'm saying. You know, and there's a lot of teamwork happening at VMAC and at Lumen Field this week.
Yeah, no kidding. And that's what we want to talk about. The idea that, okay, fans are excited about the opener, even past the opener. Fans have their questions about this team. The gambling folks out there want to know if that point spread is legit. The fantasy football players out there want to know if they should start or sit K9 or Gino or DK or JSN or whatever it might be. We're here to tell you at least in our best possible ability, the answer to those questions based on the conversations we have with folks at the VMAC and here at the station.
We're going to cover it all, but please don't come for us 6 weeks from now whenever your fantasy team is struggling to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I shouldn't have drafted Geno Smith. Oh, you can go ahead and draft Geno Smith. Well, honestly, the team should be drafted by now at this point. The game starts tomorrow.
You better be, yeah.
You better be drafted or else you're not going to play. But, I mean, this is a new era for Seahawks football, Niko. I mean, we spent a long time under the Pete Carroll regime, great Super Bowl, great parade around the city that people are wanting another one.
Yeah.
Greed is important in football because more is always better. And, you know, Coach Macdonald, Coach Mack, Coach Mack. Yeah, Coach Mack.
We'll go with Coach Mack.
We'll go with Coach Mack. I mean, he comes highly regarded from Baltimore as a defensive coordinator, first year in Seattle as a head coach or as a head coach anywhere, really. And let me tell you, I mean, we saw a couple preseason games. I know it's preseason, Niko. Fired up is a good – conservatively fired up.
Yeah,
because we saw a lot of good things, especially from that front seven. Definitely,
no question about it. No, you mentioned it being new. Mike Macdonald, first head coaching job in the NFL, and for that matter, anywhere. I asked him today about that journey from January to now. I want to bring you what he had to say Wednesday of this week at the Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Everything like that, but this journey just started, back in January. Now it's here with the regular season. What was this like for you personally?
Yeah, well, it's come a little full circle being up on the podium here on the stage. I'm having flashbacks of our intro press conference. Forgot to wear my hoodie. But yeah, I think we just, we told everybody today, or this week, how appreciative we were of all the work that goes into it. There's so many people behind the scenes, all the players, all the support staff, everyone in the building. I mean, it's so much work, and just try to get it aligned and kind of bringing it in the same direction, which I'm very appreciative of everybody's attitude. And I think we're on our way to that. I think that's an ongoing process from here till eternity, hopefully. And but here we are, so we got to go play a football game and go try to put our best foot forward.
There you have it, Mike Macdonald. And Najee, here's my thing with this whole thing. You never quite know how this is going to happen, but I ultimately think that there's a lot of potential. Okay, when you're talking about Mike Macdonald, there may be questions for all the things we said about him not being a coach before, but there's no denying from everybody who's got an educated football mind that this guy is the real deal. Led the best defense in the league in Baltimore. He could very well, I've said this as kind of like an analogy for a long time. He could very well be like a defensive version of a Sean McVay, a guy who takes the league by storm. His concepts are unique. The players are always telling us just how much of they call him a mad scientist. The first thing when you ask a player on that Seahawks team about Mike Macdonald, they rave about his intelligence. Okay. Now on the flip side of that, there are questions because he's never done this job at this level. His offensive coordinator, Ryan Grubb, has never done that at the level, although we saw what he did with the Washington Huskies and Michael Penix. But ultimately, that's why there's so many question marks, and there's a lot of new players all over. But I really do believe there's so much potential. I really like what this team could bring to the table, and it starts with Mike Macdonald proving himself and showing the football world he is as advertised.
We just heard him talking about the introductory press conference. First thing that struck me is fitting in Seattle very well. The whole dress down, the hoodie look.
Yeah,
the hoodie and hey, if it works for you, and we may see it on the sidelines, who knows? But let me tell you, I mean, I think back when I first think about Mike Macdonald, I think back to the Hawks-Ravens game last year.
Yeah.
Hawks fans may not want to think about it. It wasn't very good because I remember Geno Smith on his back a lot and running McCain and all the running backs getting. I mean, the situation was not great. But the good news is, Seahawks fans, this guy's your new head coach.
Yeah.
They went hard to defense in the draft, drafting Byron Murphy in the first round from Texas. This guy is he's a person eater. He just takes up space, and he's. I mean, we see a lot of people comparing him to maybe an Aaron Donald, or shorter Aaron Donald, maybe. That front seven is gonna be diabolical. But we talk a lot about the defense, and we should. But that being said, on offense, and we'll talk about fantasy football later, I don't think you can go wrong with drafting any Seahawks player on offense.
No.
Kanon is one of the best running backs in the league. I think if he's there, you should have taken him. DK. I mean, we talk about Ryan Grubb never doing this at a pro level, but look where the Huskies got last year.
Yeah, sure.
And let's look at the professional football players that the Hawks have this year, especially on offense. The skill positions. DK Metcalf is a stud.
Right.
Will continue being a stud. Tyler Lockett, I'm holding it down. 10th year. Can you believe it?
No. And here,
Still
what? I was going to bring this up later, but no, I can't believe it.
No.
He's been with the Seahawks the entire time.
Right.
I do want to bring you comments from Tyler Lockett about being in the league 10 years. Here's the thing. When Tyler takes the podium, he commands respect. He'll talk to us about anything.
He's a team leader.
And
definitely.
it's a lot of fun. So I want to bring you what Tyler Lockett has to say about entering his 10th year in the league.
Lakin about that. So me and Lakin are in the same agency, got the same agent, and we were just talking about, like, man, what's the percentage of guys that get into year 10? And we were like, it's probably 1%. And so, I mean, you think that's accurate? I don't know. But, I mean, it's a blessing to me still to be a year 10. I mean, there's still a good amount of guys that I came in draft class that's still being able to play, and they're still playing at a high level or still being able to be on the team and stuff. And so I think it's a blessing all around. We always say it's 3.5 is the average. And so, I mean, basically beat that dang near 3 times.
Yeah, there is Tyler Lockett right there. And I want to really point out something here, that this guy is a warrior in every way. He fights through injuries. He really just makes a lot of things happen. And ultimately, it's a really big thing, as we heard Tyler say, the fact that, most guys play in the league maybe 3 years. The idea of getting beyond that is like, okay, you've had a great career. The fact that he's been able to do it and do it at a high level. Think about all the great catches he had just last year. Yeah. And I think that when you look at this year, okay, some might say he's getting up there. He's in the mid-30s now. Okay, whatever, which I hate to hear that. But I think you have to look at this potentially as a rejuvenation year for Tyler Lockett because of, as you were just talking about, Ryan Grubb. One thing we saw, first of all, the entire preseason was very vanilla by design, right? Sure. You're not going to give away state secrets in a game that doesn't matter. However, if there's something you can take from it as how it might translate to the regular season, to me, it has to be that first series against the Browns where Geno was just throwing the ball all over the yard. Okay. Right. Hit JSN a few times, hit DK for that beautiful touchdown. I mean, that's what I think this Seahawks offense will be. And in that regard, you're going to see guys, not just DK, not just Jackson Smith and Jigba, but you're also going to see Tyler Lockett. You're also going to see Noah Fant. And maybe even some of the guys like Jake Bobo and Laviska Shenault getting some decent amount of targets and catches. And it's the same idea, Najee, that we saw at UW last year. Okay, Rome Odunze was the star, but it was also Jalen McMillan. It was also Jalen Polk. It was also Jack Westover, Giles Jackson. It was also Devin Culp. And I mean, the list goes on and on and on because that's what that offense is. And will it be exactly what we saw at UW last year? Of course not. But will it be at least the same principles? Yeah, I think so.
Going back to Tyler Lockett really quick, you talk about being in the mid-30s. Not wrong being in the mid-30s, first of all. But he still has the can-do and the know-how. Sure. Very important. And also, he's a team leader in the locker room. I mean, guys look to him. Guys like Bobo and guys like JSN look to him. And it's just like, hey, on offense, even Geno probably looks to him too. I think what we're going to see from the Hawks this year is a lot of complimentary football. We saw issues with the defense, especially in the running game last year. The teams were, I think about one Panthers game in particular, the teams were just running over the Hawks. Right? Yeah, I mean, I think they had, this is the Panthers we're talking about, had like almost 200 yards of running offense against the Hawks last year. I don't think we're going to see that quite this year. It may take some time to gel, but if we look at the schedule, man, I think the Hawks can have a chance to get off to a running start. And in this division that is so difficult, I say the best team in the division is the 49ers.
Yeah.
They've been the best team in the league, actually the best team in the league or the best team in the division for a while. They could be the best team in the league right now.
Could be.
Because that roster was just stacked. And I think this could be a year. This could be a year where the Hawks could make some noise.
Yeah, and first and foremost, I love that you're wearing the throwback jersey.
Yeah.
Which they will wear against the Broncos on
can see
Sunday,
that.
105 at Lumen Field. And I love that it's fitting that
I'm not flexing, by the way.
no. But
Mm.
Najee's just got basically tree trunks for arms,
Small
and
tree
legs.
trunks. Thank you.
But but we appreciate having that on our show.
Yeah.
No, but
this is a great jersey.
It
though.
is a great
Yeah,
jersey. It's a
colors,
great
yeah.
throwback, and I
Yeah.
love that. Obviously, that is associated with the 80s and 90s
Mhm.
when the Seahawks were in the AFC West and the Broncos were a rival. So it's a cool team to wear those against. I just wish the Broncos would wear that old helmet with the D and the horse on it. That would really
Yeah,
be cooking
that'd
with
be
something
cool.
there.
Yeah.
But you mentioned the division, and we do have our favorite segment here, fair or foul. I know it's a baseball term, but it plays in football. It plays everywhere. It means like the air is fair, or is it foul? Like, does that stink or is it good?
It plays because we play it. Honestly.
It plays because it plays, and
Yeah.
we like it.
Yeah.
But to your question, fair or foul, Seahawks will dethrone the 49ers at the top of the AFC West.
Okay, so here's the thing. The Niners are a team that can win the Super Bowl. They have been a team that can win the Super Bowl. They have not won the Super Bowl recently. We talk about the Seahawks. We talk about all the stars they have on offense and how schematically they'll be a lot better on defense. I think they have better players. A lot of people are healthy now. And the secondary is just next level. We'll get to the secondary in a second. I think it's fair to say that they could unseat the Niners. I think the division will be very difficult for a lot of teams. The Cardinals are better. The Rams are always decent. The Niners are very, very good. I think the division is going to see, if you're winning the division, you're only going to win it with maybe 10, 11 games, 10, 11 wins. And because of all that infighting, all that divisional infighting that we oftentimes see in divisions like the NFC North or the NFC East, I think we're going to see, this is probably the toughest division of football because I think of how good the Seahawks will be this year.
Yeah.
I think Seahawks fans should have more to look forward to than Mariners fans this year, honestly. I'm sorry. It's not
that
a
makes me
stray.
so sad.
It's true.
Well, not sad
saying,
because obviously, of course, I want the Seahawks to do well, but just sad because of how the Mariners fell so quickly.
Falling.
It's so hard.
And
at
things
the same time.
Things can happen there too. But I honestly, I think the Hawks have a great chance. It's a good chance as any team. With they're trending up right now.
Yeah, for
What do you
sure.
think?
No, I agree. I think that it goes back to that mystery of what this season will be or is for the Seahawks from the standpoint of like, okay, they have talent. The offense, while it has a new coordinator, is largely the same talent, save for like some offensive linemen, which that is a question mark, save for some depth at the tight end position. But everywhere else, it's pretty much the same, right?
Right.
And it's an offense that was pretty darn good. Now you get a fresh set of eyes on it and Ryan Grubb. So I have high hopes for the offense. And why wouldn't you have high hopes for the defense? Mike Macdonald reiterating this week, he is the not just head coach, but play caller.
That's
on
huge.
Defense. Yeah, Aiden Dirty is defensive coordinator by title, but Mike Macdonald is calling the plays out there. And so that is a critical thing for this team because we talked about it a minute ago. He's a wizard. He's a scientist, and there's so much more to it. So the question when you're talking about this week's fair or foul in this one, will the Seahawks dethrone the 49ers at the top of the AFC West? It isn't so much about, okay, we know the Seahawks are going to be a good team. It's will they be good enough to unseat the Niners? And to me, I still think they're a year away on that. But when I hate to say that because you don't know that Gino and DK and these guys are around for the extra year after that. Contracts are coming up. Things can be happening. I'm not speculating to say they would. I'm just saying that contract situations would make it so that those guys in particular, as well as others, would be less than 100% with the team next year.
Right.
But I think that when you look at the team, they're going to have potential. The problem becomes, the Niners are really good.
They're really good.
The Rams have seemed to have figured it out after a bad year in 2022.
A year that got better as continued.
And they were good last year.
Right.
And then, the Cardinals have been rough the last couple of years, but is this the year that Kyler Murray finally figures it out? And they've got some players. So it's a difficult division. And essentially, if you're going to take the Niners, you got to at least split with them. The Niners have had the Hawks number.
Yeah, I'm just taking a glance at the
last
schedule
5
here.
wins.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's crazy about it is the year before that, 2021, I believe it was. Correct me if I'm wrong on this. No, it's 22. When the Niners went all the way. No, it wasn't 22. That's the year the Hawks made the playoffs, got swept by the Niners. 21, when the Hawks didn't make the playoffs. The Niners went to the championship, but they were swept by the Seahawks.
Right.
So even when the Seahawks weren't at their best, and that was arguably the worst season in recent memory, the 7-10. Last year they missed the playoffs, so they're still a winning record, right?
Right.
We're talking about the worst Seahawks team of the last 10 years. Now, granted, Brock Purdy wasn't quarterbacking the Niners then and whatnot, but the Hawks still swept them. And so there's potential here. The teams aren't that far off. You got to hope that while the Niners may have figured out Pete Carroll the last couple of years, perhaps Mike Macdonald and Ryan Grubb can figure out the Niners.
And that's great to note, Niko. There's no film on Coach Mack for the Niners right now. There's no film. And we're not going to see what we saw last year. Remember, there was like a 3-week span where the Hawks played the Niners, they played somebody else, and then they played the Niners again.
Yeah.
We're not going to see that. They play each other the first time on October 10th.
Thursday night game at Lumen.
That's true. Oh,
Yeah.
Another Thursday night game.
They always play the Niners on Thursday. And you know what else that means, Najee? And I know
What?
you hate this.
What?
Highlighter green uniforms.
Okay.
That was a Pete thing, though. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, I'm sure it'll happen. I just don't all of it green. All of it highlight green. I don't know. The first game is October 10th against the Niners on Thursday night, like Niko mentioned. November 17th, 6 days after my birthday, by the way, is away in San Francisco, which is always a tough place to play, especially around October. It's always rainy as gross. Well, it's rainy and gross in Seattle in October also. I'm looking at the schedule, there's a chance that the Seahawks can start the season 3-0.
I think they will. I mean, the Dolphins being the most difficult game of those three, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You should, if you don't beat the Broncos breaking in a rookie QB,
that's a problem.
Same for the Patriots in the first 2 weeks of the season. That's a
huge
red
problem.
flag for me.
That's
If you lose any of those games.
Yeah, if you're 1-1, 0-2, we're having conversations. We're stressed. And I know
go ahead.
And I know it's crazy to say, but we look at the state of, Ryan Grubb knows Bo Nix.
Yeah,
he does.
Boy, oh boy, Bo Nix never beat the Huskies. 0-4.
So we should really
0-3.
have problems, like actual problems. I should say problems, but it's because it's the first game of the year. People are just kind of, whatever. But that being said, I like the Hawks' chances the first week against the Broncos. Let's just lock it down. Hawks win by 2 touchdowns, I'm guessing.
So, Najee, I'm going to ask you a question. We think they're going to win the first 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
Will they have a winning record as they have done the last 2 seasons, but now they have a lot of new things going on? Will the Seahawks have a winning record, fair or foul?
Total this year, yes. I think the Hawks are a 10-win team, especially when you get off to that fast start. At their best, let's break down the schedule really quick. At home against Broncos, on the road in Boston against the Patriots, Dolphins, Lions, Giants, and Niners. They could be conceivably at their best.
Yeah,
I see maybe one loss there. I'm high on the Lions this year, and that's where it can come from. If you listen to this podcast for a while, I'm a Giants fan, and I just don't expect much this year. I'm scouting college quarterbacks as we speak. But I'm optimistic. I think the schedule is not easy by any means when you get into teams like Atlanta and Buffalo and the Rams, and you got the 2 games against the Niners and things like that. And there's a game against the Bears and it gets rough. However, at their best, potential wise, with a brand new coach, it says a lot. I'm a lot more confident and a lot more optimistic than I normally am.
Okay.
I'm gonna guess 10 wins for the Hawks.
I'm gonna say winning record as well.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go a step further. You ready for my breakdown? And
Okay.
you can make fun of me in like a month when I'm way off. Okay.
Like I said, don't come for us in 6 weeks. Okay.
You're gonna beat the Broncos. You beat the Patriots.
Okay.
Lose to the Dolphins because those games happen.
Yeah.
But then I think they go on the road and beat the Lions.
Ooh.
And you know why?
That's a Monday Night Football game.
It is.
Yeah.
2021, 2022, 2023. Seahawks beat the Lions all 3 years.
That's
Now,
true.
21, the Lions were terrible.
That's
but
true.
22 and 23, they were pretty darn good.
They were good last year.
Last year, they were great.
really
And the Seahawks went to Detroit.
I remember
Tyler Lockett, toe tap touchdown, boom.
Yep.
There's something about it. Now, different coaches, just like we said about the Niners, whatever. But I'm just going, as over the time, like I like to make my sports predictions based on like a feel. And I've got a feeling about that one. So I think they're going to start 4-2. The 2 losses.
It's a great start.
Exactly.
It's a great
The 2 losses being the Dolphins and Niners.
Right.
Just because, take a little time. Then I'll say you beat the Falcons for 5-2. Bills are tough. You lose that one 5-3. I'm not saying they definitely lose it. I'm just throwing, scenarios against the wall here.
Right.
But beat the Rams for 6-3. Let's say the Niners down in the Bay Area. Okay, you lose that 6-4. But here's where I think the big stretch is, right around Thanksgiving.
Okay.
I think they beat the Cardinals for 7-4. Beat the Jets 8-4. Beat the Cardinals again 9-4. Beat the Packers 10-4. Beat the Vikings 11-4.
Wow.
I mean, look at let me give you the last 6 games.
You're not incorrect though.
Right.
I can see.
Are they really going to be 11-4? Who knows? Probably not. But you end the season with Cardinals, Jets, Cardinals, Packers are good. Vikings,
Jets are
Bears,
also good.
Rams.
Jets are also good.
I don't think so.
Oh, wow.
No, they're good. They're good. I need to be. Listen, I know there's talent on that New York team. I need to show me something. Prove it. Don't get hurt for the year on the third play of the game.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
show
know.
me.
That was a bit
okay.
of a letdown.
Yeah.
Yes,
on paper,
yes.
Aaron Rodgers, Garrett Wilson, Brees
Right,
Hall. Yeah, you guys look good.
Yeah.
Show me something.
Well,
and so, yes, that's why, something like that is why
I say
the
that
Hawks
to
won't be 11-4 as I was just rolling off. But my point remains, the final 7 games of this season, I would have no problem betting a modest amount of money that the Seahawks finish at 6-1.
you don't have any faith in the Rams at all, do you, this year?
I think that it's going to be a good matchup, McVay and Macdonald. However, I don't have faith in their defense.
Do you think they'll miss Aaron Donald?
I think they're going to miss Aaron Donald.
Yeah,
I think
okay,
the Rams' offense is really good.
Right.
I think drafting Blake Corum to go with Kyron Williams is great.
To Kyron Williams, I know.
I just don't have any faith in that defense. And you're talking about me, again, unproven at the NFL level, but I do have faith in Ryan Grubb's offense.
Right. Talking to a couple coworkers around the newsroom, one of my good friends, Taylor Corlo, he's also a Rams fan. He's high on the Rams this year. He'd have
of course he is. We love T. Tyler.
And he'd have a lot of problems with what you just said. Also, talking to 2 of my fellow producers, almost called them Cam. I brought their names together. Dan.
You should text Taylor to come in
Kevin.
here right now. No, go ahead, do it. I'm gonna.
I don't think he'll do it right now.
If he doesn't answer you, then it's okay. But I would love to get a live yell in the background. Meanwhile,
and Dan and Kevin are also both high on the Seahawks. Maybe 9 wins. Is their predictions though?
I'm gonna say conservatively 11. I think 11. I think 11.
I'm texting Taylor as we speak.
Tell him to come to sports office right now. I want to get live reaction here on
live
the
reaction.
Sports End Zone.
We're gonna see our first ever actual physical fist fight in the KOMO
No,
Sports End Zone.
he's too nice. And I'm too nice. We wouldn't. Love that guy.
The text has been sent. I don't completely disagree. I do think if you see me looking,
I'm going to say 11 wins.
If you see me looking this way,
there's a poster
in the sports
with
office
DK on it.
I was looking at my the calendar. I think you can bet that the Rams and Hawks. I think it's going to be close for them this year.
Yeah,
I think they'll push 1-1.
Yeah.
I think it'll be difficult. I don't know.
I think, if you want to go on in 6 game stretches, so to speak, I think they can start bare minimum 3-3, probably 4-2, maybe even 5-1. But I'm going to go 4-2, but 3-3 wouldn't shock me.
Why are you so high on the Seahawks this year?
What's that?
Niko? Why are you so high on the Seahawks this year? I'm high on them.
I think it's just what I've seen at the VMAC.
Yeah.
That franchise endured something that was really crazy and losing Pete Carroll after all these years. And now, come on in, Taylor. And now they, I just think there's a lot to like about this team. So we are live on the KOMO Sports End Zone.
And Niko's been
Taylor. I want you to get close to a microphone if you're able.
And Niko has decided to start. You can come over here, Taylor. And Niko has decided to start.
Taylor, you ready for that? I want your live reaction.
I don't know how this camera's going to
work. The Seahawks are going to sweep. Just go a little bit to your right, Taylor, if you don't mind. There you go. The Seahawks are going to sweep the Rams this year. The Rams are a defensive mess, and they are not going to be as good as you think they are.
He brought you in here to
but I love you.
Rams.
However, our rookie defensive end, Jared Verse.
Oh, I do like Jared Verse.
Predicting to be defensive rookie of the year.
That's going to go to Byron Murphy, by the way.
He's going to cause a lot of problems for Geno. Maybe a reenactment of the "Oh my God" from Aaron Donald last year.
Oh my God!
But no, I.
Oh, you're good. You're good, Nash.
Okay.
I definitely predict the Rams to at the very least split with the Seahawks.
You're probably right. I just wanted to have a live reaction on the KOMO.
And that's what I suggested too. I was like, maybe a split. I can see both teams are very good. It's going to be a fight between the Rams and the Hawks. I predicted this would be 3 teams in the NFC West.
I think
winning double-digit games.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Hawks, the Niners, and the Rams are going to beat each other up. I think there's going to be some splits in there.
Right.
You could potentially see a divisional scenario where you're talking about these guys, maybe even having like tie break scenarios.
It's
to win
going to
the
be
division.
tight.
Yeah.
It's definitely a rock, paper, scissors division. We typically do well against the Seahawks. The Seahawks do well against the Niners. The Niners do well against the Rams. And
Everyone does well against the Cardinals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We just wanted live reaction when you heard me say the Seahawks are going to sweep them. Realistically, it's probably a split, right? But I'm going for it. Seahawks sweep. And I will take you to lunch if the Seahawks don't sweep the Rams.
Well, this is on wax, so
Yeah.
I have no choice but to hold you to that.
Yeah, this is on the internet.
Oh, this is on the internet. It's living forever. And Taylor's going to go post on X or Instagram or whatever that Niko didn't get him lunch when he said he was.
You brought up a good point, though, about Kyron Williams and Blake Corum, though.
Yeah, no, I do like that running back duo because Kyron's good, but Corum's going to be able to, take some of the workload off, get like 10 touches a game, something like that.
Especially since Sean McVay moved Kyron Williams to punt returner, which...
That's right. Yeah, that's why I drafted
so
Blake
happy
Corum in both leagues.
I'm happy I didn't draft Kyron Williams.
That's why I didn't draft him. Actually, yeah, I saw that news tip. So, Taylor, thanks for making your KOMO Sports End Zone debut. We love you, buddy.
No, for sure. Thank you guys for having me.
Man. And by the way, Taylor is the guy who puts this on YouTube for us, so it's only right that he joins us. Next time we'll get him a chair.
Next time we'll get him a chair.
Next time we'll get him a chair.
I have to peep over my shoulder. Yeah.
Debate.
The debate.
No, yeah. But I had to bring him in here because he's just an awesome guy.
No,
and he's probably right. It's probably more like a split.
I can see a split, but if I wouldn't be surprised if it I think Hawks Nation would love a split.
Taylor left the room.
Not love a split, but love a sweep.
Okay, Taylor left the room. Seahawks are going to get the sweep.
Oh my gosh.
He left the room. He's going to watch this.
He's going to watch this. He's going to be like, wait a second. They really pulled a fast one on me. I'm excited for this year, and we got a taste of college football this past year, and the Huskies, Big Ten. There were things.
Yeah.
TV, Weber State,
stupid.
scoreless first quarter.
Wake me up for the Apple Cup.
Niko said it, not me. How about Niko said it, not me.
Good. I know it's Portland State, but I love that quarterback Mateer. So
yeah, and I'm just excited to get the NFL back, man. And Sunday's gonna be a great day.
Hey, Najee, we're in the last minute or so of this show.
Yeah.
Call it 4th and 1 at the 5-yard line. Go for it. Is Mike Macdonald bringing back the Legion of Boom Part 2?
Yes, absolutely. The secondary is built already.
Yeah.
Spoon, like Kobe Bryant, and then like that front seven. I mean, it's already just.
The only thing that's new really is the linebackers, which I love Tyrell Dotson. We got to talk to him on Wednesday, and he was just like the coolest guy. And he said he wouldn't. Here's the thing: he wouldn't say his expectations for this team out loud because he's like, if I say that, people will laugh at me. But I'm telling you, that's how good this defense is.
I'm just telling you, they're cooking. Now, Cam Chancellor's not walking through that door. Neither is Earl Thomas.
No, of course not.
But that being said, some of the fat from last year is cut. I'll say that.
Yeah, well, and fan favorites got one guy in particular I know you're referring to. I very much like as a player and person, but I just think that it was time to move on for both parties.
Right.
And that Seahawks secondary now. Julian Love is the most cerebral guy you will meet, and he's super athletic. You've got Reek Woolen and Devin Witherspoon at your corners.
Shout out to the Giants for letting the Seahawks get Julian Love and Big Cat.
And that's the thing. You got Big Cat on the D line. Byron Murphy is only going to get better as the year goes on.
Boye Mafe.
Chen is going to miss a little time, but Chen and Nwosu will be back. Boye Mafe, like you said. And so, again, the linebackers are new, but I think they'll be good, like Tyrell Dodson. And there's other guys in the secondary that don't get a lot of love, but Rayshawn Jenkins, Kayvon Wallace, these are guys that I've been fortunate enough to talk to. I've loved what they've had to say in our one-on-one interviews, which we aired back in August. And so as we wrap up, I want to give the caveat that when you're very close to a team, like when I'm at practice every day, and that's the only team that obviously I'm watching practice in person, you tend to base your expectations on what you're seeing. Like you suddenly think that DK Metcalf is like, walking on water, and don't get me wrong, he's an absolute beast out there.
Right.
And I think it's criminal when they don't put him in like these top 20 and top 10 receiver lists. I think it's
crazy.
Dumbest thing ever.
I think it's crazy.
It's people that like they may be so-called experts, but they're just being naive and forgetting about it's so stupid.
Right.
Like to look at that man, not just the track record, but the physical ability, the talent, and to say he's not in the top 10, let alone I saw a list that said he wasn't top 20. That's stupid. Just stop making your
Stop making your list.
If we weren't on the air, I'd curse at that because that's how angry it makes me.
Really quick, Niko.
Yeah.
Super Bowl picks.
Oh, why don't you go first? I haven't thought about this.
Chiefs Packers next.
Packers.
Really quick. I'm high on the Packers this year. Who's going to win? I don't know, but it's going to be Chiefs Packers. It's going to be like 1960 style.
Lions.
Ooh.
Just because my dad, rest his soul, and my brother are big Lions fans.
I'm high on the Lions.
And
that division is going to be difficult.
Lions and Chiefs, I think.
It's a
Or
three-piece.
Lions and Bengals. No.
Bengals. A three-piece going to be very difficult.
No, let's go Lions. Hang on. I mean, I clearly haven't thought about this.
It's hard to pick against
Lions and Bills.
It's okay.
Lions and Bills.
Bills fans are going to love you for that.
Well, and it's such a short drive. It'd be like me. Well, not that they play in those cities, but it would just be cool.
I love that though. I love that.
Shout out to our sister station WHAM in Rochester. They do Buffalo Plus. I hope they see this and say that we predict the Bills to go to the Super Bowl.
Niko predicted
but
the Bills to make
but the
Super Bowl.
Seahawks will not only go to the playoffs, they will make it to at least the divisional round.
Ooh.
Seahawks divisional round this year. And if it goes according to plan, we could be talking about something. I won't say it, but we could be talking about something further in like 26-ish or maybe beyond, right when the Sonics are coming back to play.
That's a heck of a tease, Niko.
Like 2026 could be the best year of Seattle sports.
That's a heck of a year, Niko. That's a heck of a tease.
God,
right
I hope
there.
if that doesn't happen,
man.
this clip
I'm
doesn't get
book it.
resurfaced.
Book it. Don't come for us in 6 months. I'm telling you.
Oh my God, Najee.
It's been fun.
This was the KOMO Sports End Zone. We are your place to listen, talk, whatever about this new Seahawks season. Obviously, this is our season preview edition, but as the weeks go on, we'll be breaking down the Denver game, then looking into New England, so on and so forth every week of the season. We'll be able to bring you interviews. Again, I'm at the VMAC, and we get to talk to some of these guys one-on-one. We'll bring you clips of what guys like Coach Macdonald, like certainly today Tyler Lockett said. So a lot of stuff, inside information from the Virginia Mason Athletic Center, what we're seeing, why Najee and I have the opinions we do about the Seahawks, their season, and their opponents. And this is the only place you can get it right here in the KOMO Sports End Zone. Najee, we had a great time, didn't we?
This was fun. I greatly enjoyed this. Let's do this next week.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll see you next week. Take care.
Bye-bye.